Good evening, I'm Madison Carmouche. Tonight, flags in Minnesota have been lowered to half-staff, honoring 2 police officers and a paramedic shot and killed today. It happened after an hours-long standoff with a gunman in the Minneapolis suburb of Burnsville after a domestic abuse call. Another officer was wounded. Governor Tim Walz called it horrific, adding, "We must never take for granted the bravery and sacrifices of our police and first responders." Tonight, a solemn procession as the bodies of the slain officers and paramedic were moved from Minneapolis Hospital in preparation for their funerals. Jonah Kaplan of our Minneapolis station, WCCO, joins us with the latest.
I need an ambulance to stand by on the address, and I need 2 additional ambulances.
The call for paramedics came shortly after 5 this morning. Minutes later, dispatch ordered everyone to stay back.
Medics, please back off. Medics, back off and turn off lights.
First responders rushed to the home in Burnsville, a suburb about 20 minutes outside Minneapolis.
They were very tense.
They say an armed man was barricaded inside along with his family. As police arrived, the man opened fire. Video shows at least 1 SWAT vehicle with its windshield nearly shattered by bullets.
Several officers did return fire. I will note that this individual had several guns and large amounts of ammunition.
2 27-year-old officers from the Burnsville Police Department were struck and killed. A paramedic who rushed to the aid of one of them also died in the shootout.
They know they have to give up their life sometime, and they do it anyways.
State investigators confirmed the suspect died in the confrontation with police. However, family members in the home made it out safely.
7 children inside of the home from ages 15 to 2. It's a very troubling situation, and we're glad they aren't hurt as part of this.
There was a 3rd officer hit and struck by gunfire. He was rushed to the hospital too, but is expected to make a full recovery. Jonah Kaplan, CBS News, Burnsville, Minnesota.
Well, it's a cold night across our area. Temperatures have fallen into the upper 20s to lower 30s. We are 32 in Hazard, 34 in Jackson, 28 in Manchester right now, and also in London and Irvine, 29 in Williamsburg, 27 for Middlesboro, 28 in Jonesville, 31 in Harlan, and 27 in Wise. And we are going to have a very cold night tonight. Temperatures are on their way down into generally the low to mid 20s for tonight, as we'll have those clear skies around the light wind. So that's just going to allow for temperatures to really continue to fall as we go through the rest of the night tonight. So we look at tomorrow's breakdown. Well, we're going to see a nice rebound in temperatures, low to mid 50s for highs, plenty of sunshine throughout the day. We start out again with temperatures into the 20s, and then we climb up into the low to mid 50s into the afternoon. Again, lots of sunshine throughout the day. Just going to be another pleasant day overall. And we look really at the next couple days here, weather breakdown. Looking at a very cold night for tonight. Monday, sunny and pleasant, partly cloudy and pleasant for your Tuesday. Wednesday, we'll have mild temperatures. And then Thursday, that's when we'll see our next shot for some rain. We're looking at our next system impacting our area, but I'll break down your full week coming up.
All right, Ben, thank you. As former President Donald Trump, along with his allies, continue to blast the $350 million ruling against him, his political opponents are using it as ammunition. As CBS News' Christian Benavidez reports, this all comes with less than a week to go before the South Carolina primaries.
The clock is ticking for former President Donald Trump to pay up the hefty penalty imposed by a New York judge this week for falsely inflating his assets to receive favorable loan terms.
Within 30 days, either post the amount of the penalty up with interest, so it's 120% of the penalty. And we're really talking about something like $450 million.
We've got to get past these candidates where it's all about them.
His only remaining Republican challenger, Nikki Haley, blasted Trump.
He used $50 million of campaign contributions to pay for his personal court cases. The RNC is now going to be the piggy bank for Trump's legal fees.
But allies of Mr. Trump say his legal challenges are all bolstering him politically.
Here's what we know without any question, that this has only exposed a two-tier justice system that many Americans fear.
The ruling also levied penalties against Mr. Trump's 2 adult sons.
My father built the skyline of New York City, and this is the thanks he gets for doing absolutely nothing wrong.
Crooked judge. He's a crooked judge.
As Trump continues hitting the campaign trail, voters in South Carolina will take to the polls next Saturday in that state's Republican primary, where Trump leads by double digits. Cristian Benavides, CBS News, New York.
This weekend, Trump unveiled a website selling Trump-branded Victory 47 cologne. Trump also announced his own new sneaker line while attending SneakerCon in Philadelphia yesterday. The line is called Trump Sneakers, and you can order the shoes online. The price ranges anywhere from $200 to about $400. There are 3 pairs of tennis shoes, a pair of high tops, a pair of red laceless athletic shoes, and a pair of white laceless athletic shoes. The sneaker line said it has nothing to do with Trump's presidential campaign or the Trump organization. A judge sentenced Charles McConnell to an additional 28 months behind bars on Friday after he pleaded guilty last September to accepting cash from a former Albanian intelligence employee. McConnell previously pleaded guilty to a separate crime for his association with a Russian oligarch. During a hearing last August, McConnell admitted he was guilty of money laundering and violating U.S. sanctions against Russia. McConnell will serve his 2 sentences consecutively, so he is facing 6.5 years in prison. Well, folks in western Kentucky are preparing for this spring's solar eclipse on April 8th. Experts are reminding people to wear eclipse glasses, and hundreds of thousands of people are expected to travel to the western part of the state and neighboring states. If you plan to drive the distance to see the eclipse, road experts remind you that travel times may be impacted. The back roads of Appalachia hosted the Appalachian Rally Experience, inviting the Pura Vida team of racers to take to the mountains for a joyride, testing their cars and preparing for the national championship. Back roads of Appalachia Executive Director Eric Hubbard says motorsports impact tourism and economic development in the region.
But they made the trip to eastern Kentucky to do it here, and they're spending their money in our local mom and pops as far as Airbnbs, the cabins up here, the local restaurants, and you know, the word of mouth will spread from this testing, and that's what it's all about. We're open for business. Come on over.
Hubbard says the group also raised money for the Ball Creek Volunteer Fire Department. Fire officials spent the day going through safety exercises while also practicing how to operate in emergency situations. In Pulaski County, first responders worked to save a calf from a sinkhole. Science Hill firefighters say they got a call yesterday morning from a nearby farm that the calf has fallen 10 feet through an 18-inch sinkhole opening. They were able to rescue the calf, but it later died from cold overnight temperatures. Crews say it is important to call for help immediately when an animal is in trouble.
The main thing is to contact your local emergency services, dispatch, and a lot of times we are good with networking and we can get the right people to the scene that needs to be there.
Crews added sinkholes are one of the things that tend to appear out of seemingly nowhere, so it is always important to keep an eye on livestock. A new social media trend is being labeled as dangerous and harmful by mental health experts. It is called legging legs, a new body-focused term being used to describe the ideal shape of legs. It is similar to an older trend where people aimed for their thighs to be so slender that they didn't touch when standing with their feet together. Child psychologist Dr. Catherine Stone says as teens try to reach these thin ideals being pushed to them online, it can lead to disordered eating.
I also don't understand that models know how to stand in a certain way, that no matter what you're wearing, you can make your legs look differently.
If you notice sudden, drastic changes in your child's eating or exercise habits, Dr. Stone recommends having a conversation with them. If you or someone you know struggles with disordered eating, you can call the National Alliance for Eating Disorders hotline. That number is 866-662-1235. Coming up at 11, we'll take a look at the music career of a Wise County, Virginia native that may be headed to the national stage.